like I was saying, we're going to do some sliders testing here. Let me do my uniforms really quick. I need to make this the default instead. Right now, I feel like some of the passes come out a little bit too slow, so I upped the ball speed 5%. In my opinion, if you guys don't want to watch the full video, I would not recommend playing on anything faster than -20. -30 to -20 seems to be the good sweet spot here. But I will let you know, once you get to -30 to -50, yes, the players look like they're kind of stuck in mud a little bit, but the animations get a lot smoother. So obviously animation speed is tied to player movement speed, which is directly tied to game speed right here. Feel free to fast forward if need be, but let's go ahead and jump into it. Just go by so fast on here. So this is 20. Not bad, right? Not bad. Looks good. Yeah, we're just going to kind of observe it. It's like a live commentary. I don't have anything pre-planned. What? Colin Ramos instantly said, give me that. I'll have to dive into how I did the ratings next time. Maybe after I'll have to pick plays. We'll do it in the next set of tests. Screw it, I can talk about it. It's not like I'm playing anyway. So I only brought over 11 starters on offense, 11 starters on defense, and kicker and punter.
And that will work for the first.
And I gave everybody their speed, strength, agility, acceleration. I think discipline is like their consistency, which I just made it their overall. And I tied in their awareness to passing IQ for quarterback, vision for running back, route running for receiver. And on defense, I did defensive IQ for awareness. And it seemed to played pretty good. Obviously, their raw skills such as like block shedding, tackling, and catching aren't like one-to-one. And I only did this for Navy. So Navy only has 24 updated players. Army has nothing besides their uniforms. But as you can see, this looks pretty good. As I said, there's nothing wrong with 20 to 30% reduction on the gameplay speed itself. To me, is actually pretty smooth looking. I've tried 0 through 15. There was just a lot of insane amount of warping. I know it kind of looks like they're running in sand a little bit, but that's the trade-off. If you want smoother animations, you have to slow down the player movement speed because the animation speed is tied to that, and adjusting that slider will change that. I have experimented with 50, not playing it, but I've done like a visual sim on 50, and that actually had some really smooth moments that I actually recorded earlier that I think I might post on Reddit or YouTube. Haven't quite decided on that. When I talk about I see the potential in the game, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Yeah, if you play it on the default sliders, your players are going to have like, they basically have no momentum already. But like, look how much smoother the animations are. But yeah, so we got a minute and 20 seconds left of this. See, this is not terrible. I mean, if any of you guys played the old Maximum Football, y'all would know how awful that was. This is not that. I did not mean to pick that play, and I'm swapping cameras, and I can't audible. We're blitzing again because I didn't. I'm still trying to, like, my fingers are used to Madden, which kind of sucks because I'm picking the wrong plays on accident. Or I'm hitting the wrong buttons, rather, which is totally my fault, not the game's fault. They do not have flex bone, wishbone, triple option, any of the stuff that obviously Army, my favorite, Navy's my favorite team, that Army or Navy would use, which kind of sucks. Maybe in a different iteration of this game they'll have that, but as of right now they don't have any triple option. What I've done for Army and Navy is I gave them the power run playbook, which seems to have the most runs. Back. As you can see, you know, the animation transition smoothness is not the best. It's not terrible. I mean, it's like we have to like have realistic standards for a game that's not a AAA studio, right? So I don't want to be unrealistic. So that was 20 that we just saw right there. We're going to go down to 25% reduction in gameplay speed. Again, we're just getting smoother animations, running a little bit slower, but it's really up to you, the user, to find what you like. I just, as I said earlier, I just recommend anywhere from -30 to -25. Obviously, the higher the number, the slower the gameplay. Hopefully, they do add some formations that involve flexbone and wishbone and stuff, but you know, I don't know. I feel like they were so rushed to get this game out, like especially when they swapped from, what was it? They had one engine that they were using and they swapped to Unreal, so
Went backwards there a bit, huh?
okay. I mean, it's going to be, you might notice the game is slightly slower with a increase of or decrease of 5% of overall gameplay speed. But you're probably also noticing that the gameplay itself is getting a little bit smoother, right? So that's the main thing that I'm showing off, is the engine's potential. And really, if you want like some crazy arcade gameplay, you can get that. Stiff arm that man again. Okay. Which is close. But yeah, this what you're seeing, in my opinion, is slower, obviously, but a touch smoother in this threshold of gameplay speed range. I like this slider so far. I do think the +5 to ball speed is kind of necessary, because I feel like the passes seem to stay up in the air a little bit too long. I'm not 100% sure if ball speed is affected by gameplay speed being adjusted or not. It's not really clear to me. So I'm thinking anywhere from 5 to 10, possibly 5 to 7% increase on ball speed should be sufficient to overcome. Good Lord, was that warp? These uniforms look so good. Shout out to the person on Reddit who told me about, almost blocked that, who told me about the Team Color Codes website that you can go on to and find all this stuff on. I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, so we got 10 seconds. Essentially, we got one play left of 25 speed reduction. Okay. So now let's get down to the -30, which is about as slow as I would recommend most people, because anything slower than this, you're probably going to be complaining about how slow it is. I'm trying not to be redundant, and also I'm trying not to just sit here in silence for 15 minutes. So pardon me as I kind of ramble a little bit to fill the background with some commentary.
That's a textbook tackle there.
And again, it's so we've already decreased it 10% essentially since we started this video, and it's really hard to tell on the animation speed side, but if you start looking at how much ground they're covering while they're running, you will really start to be able to see it. I'm going to try to finish it up here after this with a -50. But yeah, so this is, you know, I think maybe if you went back in the video and watched a few plays and then came back to this one, you'd probably see the difference more clearly. To me, since it's going in increments of 5, I think my eyes are just getting used to seeing it.
The receiver secures the ball.
Nicely done.
But yeah, that animation probably could have had a little bit more speed on it, a little bit more violence, for lack of a better word. Which is why I think a lot of people will probably settle around 25 instead of 20 or 30 like this. But that's, you know, it's whatever you like, really. I kind of didn't want that. And it's not perfect by any means. I think when you buy this game, what you're really looking for is you're looking for the sandbox aspect to create your teams, your leagues, your uniforms, your players, right? You're not buying this because of, oh my goodness, this plays like All Pro Football 2K8, or this plays like Madden, or this plays like 2K5. You're not buying it because it has excellent gameplay. I'll show you really quick what -50 looks like, and we might, just in case they pass, we'll bump that up to -7, because I feel like there are still a couple of passes that look like they were a touch slow. So here is the slowest gameplay that you can get, which also AKA means probably the smoothest.
He really took some anger out on that one. Touchback.
That's touchback. That's fine.
Bring it out for a better field.
The only thing this game doesn't have is Super Sim, because I low-key would love to skip the special teams. That's just me. And also I zoom the camera in because I feel like these players are, I feel like the player models are too small. I don't. Maybe I'm the only one. But I feel like the player models are too small for the field sometimes. So I zoomed in to make them bigger.
Hands off to the runner.
That run was less than stellar.
If I was doing a visual sim, I'd probably put it on anywhere from 30 to 50, maybe 40. I don't know. Bro, what are these screens we keep calling?
Fella, good grab.
Spins. He breaks free. Quarterback's arm is on fire.
So you can see how the animation speed is playing out. The speed is fine, but the guy, it's like he was trying to target who to stiff arm. I've never seen that. Like his head was whipping back and forth like he didn't know what to do. So obviously 50 gets you the smoothest animations, but then the players look like they're running through mud. Maybe if I made it a snow game, it would make more sense, right? So, but yeah, this is 50. Running at like a turtle's pace. Obviously the animations are at their most smoothest, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. So let me explain it like this. -20 is what I would consider fast gameplay. -25 is what I would consider normal. And then -30 is what I would consider slow. If that puts that into perspective. Look at that punt, son. Wow. Excellent punt, dude. But I've seen a few plays on here on -50 that look really good. I'll have to post those separate as I get some recordings on them. I think I'm going to get another play. They're probably not going to snap this. I'd love it if they did, though. Please snap it. One more play.
He's throwing that ball.
So, yeah, the players look like they're running in mud. Smooth animations. Huge trade-off. I think the downside on that one is probably the downside's probably a little too much, especially in terms of actually gameplay speed or player movement speed is just too slow. Me personally, I'm going to play on what I consider slow gameplay speed. I mean, you guys might want to play on like something what I consider normal. Not the game's normal, like my definition of normal of like 25. Or if that is just a touch too slow, go to 20. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Sim Football out.